court. Oklahoma Congressman James Lankford is on the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, which questioned Lerner about her involvement in the IRS targeting scandal of conservative groups. Congressman, your reaction to those comments, un-American?
Yeah, it's a little surprising to hear it's un-American when you're dealing with who is actually trying to silence the speech of other Americans, and that everything that we have targets back to her. She goes and does a testimony to the Department of Justice. She plants a question in a public meeting and says, someone asked me a question about this so I can get it out. And then she comes before our committee, makes this long statement about her innocence, and then won't answer questions about it. So it's odd that sometimes she wants to have silence, sometimes she wants to not answer questions, but all the time she's trying to be able to actually silence other people from voicing their conservative opinions. There's a double standard going here. No one's above the law.
Her lawyer is comparing what's happening in Congress now to the McCarthy era. Why not allow him to address the House and give his side, whatever that is?
Yeah. Because right now it's obvious that he's trying to stall. He's not trying to actually make progress on this. His statement is she can't be held in contempt because Chairman Issa said we may hold you in contempt rather than we shall hold you in contempt. And he's saying that one word will make a difference on that, and so now we haven't fulfilled all the requirements. This is typical legalese. She did ask for at one point to say we want to come in and talk about immunity. Our simple question is, what do you want to talk about with immunity? She made a statement to our committee. I've done nothing wrong. I broke no laws. I've been consistent with all of my statements to all the different committees. And now she wants immunity. So our question is, what is the immunity for? If she broke no laws, then she doesn't need immunity. If she broke laws, then she not only broke laws, but she also perjured herself on the stand as well. So there's a lot of questions that we have behind the scenes on this as well. We have recommended contempt because she's failed to be able to provide basic documents, basic testimony. We'll continue to press forward on that because we feel like it's very important.
You're going to proceed with that, and basically you're saying you don't have the time, you don't want the stalling of the lawyer coming in and bringing in more conversation on this. A question on Lois Lerner, because certainly there's been a hyper-focus on her. Congressman, is she the only one that can provide more answers, more clarity to what was going on inside the IRS to prevent it from ever happening again, or should there be other names that you should be looking at?
There are other names that we continue to look at, but she is the head of that exempt organizations division. She was involved in all of it. We have emails between Lois Lerner and the Department of Justice, where the Department of Justice is contacting her saying maybe we need to bring other things to bear from the Department of Justice to help with this investigation of whether people are breaking the law, and we're going to go after them as well. So there's now multiple agencies that are involved in this, both IRS, Department of Justice, but it all seems to center around her and her office. She's very important to be able to get the clear story.
Who are the other names that you're looking at?
Well, I'm not going to list all those out at this point, but there's obviously a lot of people in the exempt organizations part of it. We've gone through Cincinnati in that office. The Cincinnati folks got word from Washington. We brought the folks from Washington in to be able to do that. They've given us testimony. Everyone is giving us testimony. They were waiting on instructions. Everything was on hold until you get back to Lois Lerner, and she seems to be the one that's giving the instructions to everyone. Wait. Remember, she wasn't telling people no on all these conservative and Tea Party organizations. She was just saying wait. So they can't come in and say we were turned down. They were just never approved, and it was just this constant stall to give up.
And we've heard from some of those groups and the stalling and how that impacted their personal lives. Just a quick final question for you, Congressman, because we all just recently had to file taxes or file an extension. I'm wondering, based on the information that you know, how confident you are that there is no political targeting happening right now inside the IRS.
That is the unbelievable part about all of this is we just resolved this 40 years ago with the Nixon administration and using the IRS and other ways to be able to target individuals. Now we're back in the same thing all over again in the loss of trust. Lots of people that I talk to in Oklahoma will bring up to me, I'm being audited. I've never been audited before. Last year or the year before was the first time I gave to a conservative group, and now I'm suddenly being audited. You're going to tell me this is not happening? So even if it's not happening, people have lost complete trust in the impartiality of the IRS because now we know there were individuals in the IRS that were using files, leaking files out to people to be able to get information out they wanted to get out, but also making decisions based on political beliefs rather than just saying to everyone.
Well, we expect the vote to come to hold Lois Lerner in contempt of Congress in early May. We're going to continue to watch this story, Congressman. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.